Every year on July 4th, tens of thousands of people from around the world get on their mark here in Buckhead to participate in the nation's largest 10K, the Peachtree Road Race. Adrenaline pumping and feet thumping. Cheers of jubilation and that genuine feeling of accomplishment are all the result of competing in this storied race. A few compete for the prize, but most participate for the thrill of the ride. It's a Georgia tradition on the 4th of July going back to 1970.
The Peachtree has allowed tens of thousands of people through the years to change their lives in a positive direction because of that date on the calendar, July 4th.
Jeff Galloway is a former Olympian who has dedicated his life to running. He opened Phidippides, the state's first running-specific store, in the early 1970s. He has since gone on to write nearly 20 books on the subject of running and has running camps all around the world known as the Galloway Training Program. As for the Peachtree Road Race, he won the very first one.
Back in 1969, probably in the whole city of Atlanta, there were about 50 to 100 runners.
Jeff and a small group of these runners, including lead organizer Tim Singleton, made the decision to have the race right down Peachtree Street, and history was made.
The race occurred on July 4th. Now, in 1970, our first year, there were very few people out on the streets of Atlanta on July 4th, and so there really wasn't too much of a traffic problem. I asked Tim a couple of years ago to tell me the secrets of how he was able to talk the city fathers into giving him Peachtree Street back in 1970, and he said it was very simple. He did not ask.
There were 110 original runners that day, and the race nearly doubled in size every year after that for the next several years.
We held registration right here at Phidippides during those formative years. It was chaotic and people absolutely loved it. It was exciting. It gave running something that running had not had before, the attention of the major newspapers, and as a result, the major other media outlets in our town. So running became mainstream as a result of the Peachtree Road Race.
You won the first Peachtree Road Race, so I'm going to try and win this next one.
Right.
My trouble is going to be I'm starting 6 minutes after the leader, I believe. So what do I got to do to catch up?
That most of the winners won the race at their birth. In other words, they chose their parents well. And genetics are a powerful part of going faster. So if you did not do that, there's still a whole lot of enjoyment out there. But whether you're going to win the race, you'll have to see. But I'm all in favor of you giving it your best.
So Jeff inspired me to begin training myself for this race, training at a ridiculous pace, up and down Peachtree until the infamous hill. I am high atop Heartbreak Hill, an incline right smack in the middle of the Peachtree Road Race, where many steady runs have simply turned into walks.
It's about 8/10 of a mile long from start to finish, and it just keeps going up. So you really do have to pace yourself. That's another way or venue that responds well to taking walk breaks.
Okay. A few weeks passed and the time had come. The nation's largest 10K was about to begin. Atlanta Track Club Executive Director Tracy Russell was there bright and early to make sure all 55,000 plus runners got on their mark.
40 years ago today, we had 110 runners make their way down Peachtree Road, got quizzical looks from those driving, thinking, what's going on here? And here we are 40 years later, 55,000 people, 3,200 volunteers, 150,000 spectators. We've come a long way in 40 years.
My blood was pumping, ready to race, so it was time to meet some of my competition. What have you done to train?
I run 3 or 4 times a week, about 4 or 5 miles each time, sometimes 6 or 7. Just build up my training, up and up and up.
Is this your first race?
Yep.
All right, you think you're gonna win today?
I don't think so.
You think you're gonna beat your dad?
Yeah.
And just my luck, I ran into a few of the original 110 runners.
I think I've run about 32 of them. I have to go back look at my record someday and straighten that out.
All right, Tom, I know that you look a little younger, but tell me why you're here. You're here for a good reason.
I'm running in my grandfather's place because he was one of the original 110 runners. So,
All right, well, what's it mean to you to be running in his place?
it means a lot to me. I think it's very important and live on in his legacy.
Got my number. Let's do it. And it was off to the races. And as Jeff predicted, I got beat badly by one of the Kenyans. And maybe we were all born to run, but some just a bit slower than others. However, something I realized is that the moments right after a run are some of the most emotionally rewarding. It's me coming down to the water! Yes! How many times have you run the Peachtree?
Oh, about a dozen or so, but I had to take 2 years off because I got run over by a boat about 2002 and shattered both legs and, propeller through the left leg and reattached and just to be able to be out here and running, man, it's fantastic.
Tell you what, this probably means more to you than most people out there. It's congratulations for doing it.
Yeah, it does. Every time you wake up and just put your running shoes on, just very grateful to be able to run.
Wow.
And it's fantastic.
How'd you do? What was your plan?
Well, my plan was to start off slow and pace myself, and then eventually kick it in toward the end.
All right, so did you kick it in towards the end?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Needed the water afterwards, but I did.
My name is Anthony.
Anthony, and is that your real hair?
Well, no, but it's my fast hair, and I use it to help me to race.
I like it. It kind of has an aerodynamic yet patriotic look.
Right, and I keep.
You can't. She's not at
We think they were all sub 60, but we don't know what they were yet.
About 58. He's 57.
Ah, the winner, 57? 56.
Yeah.
Unofficial.
Jeff Galloway started off as a chubby kid looking for a hobby, and he went with the most natural one of all, running. His next goal in life is to run till he's 100. You know, maybe I'll try it too, but for now, I'm gonna rest.
This is a GPB original production.